Hi there everyone, Musical Aviator here. Bakerloo line, good old London Underground on Train Sim 2. Plan for today is we'll be taking the next train to arrive at Elephant Castle, all the way up to Harrow and Wealdstone. We'll be turning the train around and coming back to Elephant Castle, and then we'll be parking the train in this siding right here, where it will stay overnight and become next morning's train. When it needs to be down this end, train is due to leave in 6 minutes, so it should be here in about 3. Hope everyone is well. My apologies to the people on Twitch who are seeing a flight simulator tag. Just realised that the updates hadn't flown through on Restream. Everyone else is seeing Train Sim World 2 though. So we're going to be climbing to flight level -1. We have a bunch of add-ons, including sounds. Here comes our train. Quite full there. So this train's due to leave at 9:56 p.m.
Please mind the gaps between the train and the platform.
Wait for some of these folk to get out. Jump in. Stabilizing tail light is off. I'm actually going to go ahead and open that door there. Turn that on. Jump on in. The lights are on. Might even do both sides. Brake test to do. That should give us a red light. It does. That should eventually give us a green light. Done. Cool. Turn that off. Get that in. Lights on. Headlight is in. And we're obviously not going to Elephant Castle anymore. We're going to Harrow and Wealdstone. Let's open up. Everyone's out. Good to see. How long do we have? Two minutes. Alright, cool. A rather lonely front carriage here. And
this is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone.
that is sorted. One of the fun things we've got at the moment is this little website, which has all the timetables for essentially the entire track here, so the entire add-on. So we're running this entire set, Elephant Castle at 2156 all the way down to Harrow, and then returning to Elephant Castle and the siding. The train will be ready to depart in just a little while.
This train is ready to leave. Please mind the doors.
And we're clear to go. It's a 10 zone. No, it's 15 now. There's a crossover point. There's the other one coming in. Still a 15 zone. And we just need to drag the back of the train out of that crossover. There's 25. Lambeth North. And we're in a 30 zone. So I see there's a few of you guys watching. Nobody's commenting yet. Hope everybody is well today. Here in Melbourne it's about 9:30 in the morning. Relatively cold but no rain. Not sure what the weather will be like here in London when we get out of these tunnels. Full service.
This is Lambeth North. Exit here for the Imperial War Museum. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone.
Just sit here and wait for about 30 seconds.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Two little red lights there. That's where the London Road yard is up there. Joe wants us to see the time in game. Yeah, I could probably do that. Yeah. I can get a little bit further. Yeah. Cool. Train driving mode. 20 zone. Before that turn, there it is.
This is Waterloo. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for the Jubilee, Northern and Waterloo and City lines and National Rail services. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
I actually find I can stay on time inside the tunnel, but then once we get outside in the 45 zones, I just slip behind. Same thing happens on the return trip. We slip behind at the beginning of the trip and then we catch up slowly in the tunnels. Oh, the Ridolph? Yeah, good old train sim. Like me a good train. I could, you know, don't mind the old automobile, but they're not my favourite thing. Trains and planes.
This is Enhancement. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for the Circle, District and Northern lines. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
I agree, it is at least on par, if not better than the Subway series. The trains are pretty good too.
The next station is Charing Cross. Change here for the Northern line and National
One thing that the Subway Simulator series had was this computer working, whereas this one doesn't. You just press a random button to advance to the next announcement. Better than nothing, but you know, it'd be nice to be able to program that computer properly.
This is Charing Cross. Change here for the Northern line and
We're running a little late now. I think we took too long stopping at that station.
For Trafalgar Square, National Gallery and National Portrait Gallery. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
Not really an outside view. You can get out of the train, or you can press 3 and you have like attached to the window looking backwards view, as if you were sticking your head out the window. Issue with opening the window on these, they actually have a cutout, so if they detect that the window's open, the train can't actually go. It's great. It's true of the real train as well.
Change here to the Piccadilly line.
25 zone. Like Piccadilly Circus, it's got this funky little open area at the end of the platform.
Circus. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
So there's the external view. You can't actually move down the train, at least until we're outside of these tunnels.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Once we're outside the tunnels, and we'll be able to go to a full external view. But it's night time anyway. There, 20 zone. That's just for the turn. It's coming up, obviously. And they're on a 30.
The next station is Oxford Circus. Change here for Central and Victoria lines.
So it's hard to judge these stops. You want to come in nice and quick. But if you come in too quick, you'll miss the stop. That's where you want to be.
This is Oxford Circus. Change here for Central and Victoria line. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
Right on time. 20 zone. So Regent's Park is like half a mile away. Nice close stations, but the trains aren't exactly quick. And we've got a 30 zone.
The next station is Regent's Park. Exit here for local buses to ZSL, London Zoo.
No, this is Train Simulator 2. Train Sim World, sorry. Yep, Train Sim World 2. Right there.
This is Regent's Park. Exit here for local buses to ZSL, London Zoo. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone.
That's the London Zoo stop.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Departed about 5 seconds early there. Still inside the minute, so we're good to go. This is late night running, so the trains are about half an hour apart. It's not like we're backed up on another train to ahead of us. The operator would not. No. Basically. The good thing about these trains is they tend to be set up so that the speed limit is correct, so that you only need to apply a normal amount of braking to stop as soon as you see the station out the front of your tunnel. So if it's one of these tunnels that are slightly curved and you can't see the station in front of you, then it'll actually slow you down.
Change here for the Circle, Hammersmith City, Jubilee and Metropolitan Line. Exit here for Madam Tussauds.
So if you stick to your speed limits, you should be okay. It's all VFR.
Change here for the Circle, Hammersmith City, Jubilee and Metropolitan lines. Exit here for Madam Tussauds. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
Yep, pretty much. Most of the stations, if you start applying normal amount of brake, so there's like 3 sets of normal, minimum, normal and maximum, and then there's like the last 3, which are intense braking. There's a lap, service application and emergency. But if you're if you just sit on the normal amount of braking, you should be able to apply your brakes from 30 miles an hour down to a stop within the platform. So even if you come in at 35, then just apply brakes as you touch the platform. Outside's a little bit more difficult, but then again you can see more outside. So we're entered at 25 there, so we only need like minimum braking at the moment. Marleybone.
This is Marleybone. Change here.
Once upon a time, they would have called this Grand Central.
This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
This one's easy. I can already see the station straight ahead. It is, however, a 30-mile-an-hour zone because the station up ahead is a little bit shorter than average.
Road. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
.30 zone. I'm just slipping a little bit behind the timetable there, maybe about 20 seconds. Still inside the minute though. .30 zone for now. There'll be a 20-mile-an-hour zone coming up ahead. There it is.
The next station is Paddington. Please mind the gap between
A couple of
the
heavy
train
turns
and the
here.
platform. Change here for the Circle, District and Harrow and Wealdstone and National Rail Services.
Turned in this direction, a little bit hard to see around at times.
This is Paddington. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for the Circle, District and Hammersmith and City lines and National Rail Services. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Stand clear of the doors. Please stand clear of the doors.
So let it accelerate up to about 10 miles an hour before you hit full power, otherwise it starts spitting the wheels out. Or you can, depends how heavy you are, how slippery the rails are, if you're going uphill or not. .35 zone here.
The next station is Warwick Avenue. Exit here for Little Venice.
Should be about there. Cool.
This is Warwick Avenue. Exit here for Little Venice. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
Maida Vale's next. Hi there, Joe. We've got Fly and See Santa on very early Sunday morning. Up in the north. I think we're going to Rovaniemi out of Helsinki.
The next station is Maida Vale.
So at full 30 until we hit the platform, then goes to essentially normal braking.
This is Maida Vale. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
Next platform is the last one underground, then we head up into the overground section. Still part of the London Underground, just not in a tunnel. Couple of things to think about above ground. I do believe it'll be raining, so the rails will be a bit wet. So it'll take a little longer to stop at each station.
The next station is Kilburn Park.
Have to anticipate a bit more.
This is Kilburn Park. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone.
I just found the above ground sections to be a bit more brutal with the timetable.
Please stand clear of the doors.
So that's probably the second last station that we'll be stopping on time. Everything after Queen's Park will be progressively later and later until we're about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes behind time. It's just a fact of life. Hopefully by the time we're back in this tunnel going the other way, we can catch up some of that time. Yeah, it's raining.
The next station is Queen's Park.
Need a bit 15. There we go.
Train and the platform. Change here for London Overground.
Now we get this nice external view.
This is Queen's Park. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change
Gonna be out of here as soon as we can.
Underground. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
And off we go. Green light. Hi there, Eric 1520. Oh, Dominican. I've been there before. Next time you guys have a big event, I'll certainly be there. Thinking like it's on a Friday night at about 2300 Zulu. We're in a 10 zone because they're coming through what's essentially a stabling area for these trains. We'll then go past some points, and then we'll need to drag the back of the train through, and then we can go 45. These are the points we're talking about. Back outside again. So just imagine where we are about now. And 7 carriages are behind us. more than half a mile away. We can go 45. Kensal Green's always a bit of a dim and darkly lit station, so we'll see how we go. Essentially, as soon as we see it, we need to start slowing down. So keep your eyes peeled. It's right up there. Slowing down now. Ah, 777 freighter. Nice.
This is Kensal Green. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
These lights change as soon as we're clear to go. Essentially, as soon as those doors close, we should be hitting that green light. Back in the tunnel again, just temporarily. Think of this more as a tunnel than a subway. Driving at night through the rain. That's the overground next to us over there. We've entered the 30 zone, so I just need to slow down a bit. That's mostly for these curves. And we've got the station coming up now.
Between the train and the platform. Change here for London Overground.
30 zone, 15 if you went straight ahead. Here's our stopping point.
This is Wealdstone Junction. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for London Overground. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
15 seconds late. Not too bad. Wheel slipped. A bit of a wheel slip there. You can just feel the train lose traction and something almost feels like it's stopping. Even though you've got power on, you have to back it off. 45 zone. This is a flyover, so the track that's been sitting on the right hand side will go over the top of us and end up on the left hand side. That's done. Now we're coming up on a station.
The next station is Harrow. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Right there.
This is Harrowston. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
And that was a green light, just in time. Yeah, it's about 10 miles an hour once the wheels are going to grip at full power. I'd grip a little bit easier if it wasn't wet. It's a 45 zone, so I can just accelerate to our heart's content. I do believe that there's a whistle post up here somewhere. That'll be it there.
The next station is Stonebridge Park. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
If we enter the platform at 30, which we're a little bit below now, we should be fine. This is Stonebridge Park. They park a lot of the trains in the yards just over there.
This is Stonebridge Park. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
Green. Just let that accelerate a little bit. Give it a bit more power as we cross these points. We'll lose power for a second. Then we'll regain it. Wembley's up next. So if you want to watch a tennis match, you'd be headed up here. 40 zone. And we're going under another flyover, so some of the tracks on this side coming over again. Or was it that side over here? Can't remember. Yeah, it's that side over to the right-hand side. Left going to the right. We eventually end up at the far leftmost track. Have to lose a little bit of speed underneath for this turn. But we're sitting at 40 now at full power. We're going uphill. Returning to the 45.
The next station is Wembley Central. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Exit here for Wembley Stadium.
The Wembley platforms are a little bit longer than the other ones, so we don't have to go all the way to the end.
This is Wembley Central.
I'm going to do an external view to see that. The back of the train is clear of that. You'd fit an 8 or 9 car train into there.
Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
Okay, we're back outside. Dark homes, everyone's asleep. It is 10:30 at night after all. A few lights on over the other side. Looks like these people are the old working class people and people on that side of the party guys. Station in view. There's 30, there's normal braking.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
Reasonable stop there. South Kenton is next. I believe South Kenton is the least used station on this line. It's going off what a certain famous YouTuber made a video about once. South Kenton reminds me of my local station. Closest one to my house.
The next station is South Kenton.
Which is also the worst, voted the worst station in Melbourne for something like 5 years running. Very similar layout. Little island platform that's quite narrow. Lots of tracks on the other side that don't have platforms.
This is South Kenton. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
Kenton is the next one, and then that's the second last station of this line. At which point we'll turn the train around and come back. When we return, we're actually the last train of the night in this section of the train. I think it'll be roughly 2 minutes behind time by the time we get up to Harrow.
The next station is Kenton. Please mind the gap between the train.
Should give us about 5 minutes to change ends. There's 30.
This is Kenton. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Harrow and Wealdstone. Please stand clear of the doors.
Next one is our last stop. So we should have been at Harrow now. We're still 1/8 of a mile away. This wet weather does slow you down. They should build the wet weather into the timetable, given it's London. Not like rain is a surprise.
The next station is Harrow and Wealdstone, where this train terminates. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for London Overground and National Rail services. All change, please. This is Harrow and Wealdstone, where this train terminates. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for London Overground and National Rail services. All change, please.
Cool, just need to check where these guys are. Looks like everyone's out. Cool. Doors closed, and we can proceed into the siding. $10 miles an hour. just past the signal that we need to put the back of the train in front of. Yep. Train going off. Got about 5 minutes, as I said. And we're headed down to Elephant Castle. Turn that off, turn that on, and that off. Anything else that I need? I can turn the cab light off too. We have the keys with us. Let's head on down. I actually didn't expect the lights to be on here. Three minutes to go, roughly. 3.5. Gives us a couple of minutes to set this up. Yeah, Elephant Castle. Couple of things to do. Gauge light. Control switches on. Hence why we have all those lights on. Cool. Red light. Green light. Saloon lights are good. Close the door. And we'll make sure our announcements are set up for the correct direction.
This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle.
It is. Cool. Two minutes. Made pretty good time so far. Yep, train will move. I like the look of that glass. Looks pretty good. So this train is an interesting timetable because it goes all the way to Elephant Castle, but then you go past Elephant Castle into the siding. At which point you can walk back through the train the other direction and then get out. Out of the front door, this thing here. Because you can't get out the sides when you're inside the tunnel. The way out is through this one. Once we get down into those catacombs. Then at some point this train becomes the first train to leave tomorrow morning at something like 5:50 a.m. 4:50 a.m. Before 5 a.m. They're clear to move. It's a 10-mile-an-hour drop through the points here. Along the platform.
This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle.
Yep.
This train is ready to leave. Please mind the doors. The next station is Kenton. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
And about 30 as we enter the platform right there. So pretty much where we are.
This is Kenton. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
pick the train up before we accelerate to full power because of the rain. There we go. And so the long slip begins. We're already a couple of seconds late. By the time we end up at Queen's Park, we'll probably be about 2 minutes late. And we should be able to catch up in the underground section. So that by the time we hit, I don't know, Waterloo or something, we'll probably be needing to stop at red signals again. That's alright, we are the last train out of South Kenton, for instance. We're the last full-length train. I think there are a couple of other trains coming up behind us, but they stop at Stonebridge Park or Queen's Park.
The next station is South Kenton. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
We're at 30. Minimal braking should do. And we want to stop in front of that.
This is South Kenton. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
And off we go. Half a mile to North Wembley.
The next station is North Wembley. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
A little bit quick, we might need all of the brake. Not quite all of it. Cool.
This is North Wembley. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
Pick the train up. And off we go. A lot of the add-ons that we have running at the moment are sound-based. There's also a couple of things that put different advertisements in the tunnels and stuff.
The next station is Wembley Central. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Exit here for Wembley Stadium.
30 zone. Don't need that. And a good reminder that the platform is long enough for 8 carriages, so we can probably leave a carriage space in front of us, like that.
This is Wembley Central. Please
Just
mind
double
the
check
gap
it. Yep,
between the train
we're all in.
and the platform.
That's the back of the train.
Here for Wembley Stadium.
That's the front.
This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
Train's picked up, we've got a green light, off we go. .40 zone. As we come down, then it'll be 45 on the way up. The train won't be able to accelerate on the way up. I want to be 40 through this curve. They're just idle at the moment. We've gotten through the curve. We're at about 43. I'll start picking up the power so that we can pass up 45 at about 44 and maintain that all the way up.
The next station is Stonebridge Park. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Stonebridge Park. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the door. Please stand clear of the doors.
I like this bridge. Nice looking bridge. About 10:30 here, so the stream's been going for about 1 hour 10 minutes or so. Over to yellow lights, which means the next one's red. These are just these holding lights at the end of the platforms.
The next station is Harrow. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Knock off 10 before we get to the platform. 30, should be good. Ideal spot.
This is Harrowstone. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
Wheel spun. Okay. You can feel it just lose all of acceleration. It'll just get that kind of like bouncing forward as you go into the wheel slip. You just back off the power a bit, recatch it. Got to turn my windscreen wiper off for that little bit of tunnel, but barely worth it. Going back uphill, so we're not going to accelerate as we do that. We're just going to be at full power. And we're coming up to a stop anyway at Wealdstone Junction. 30 mile.
The next station is Wealdstone Junction. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for London Overground.
It's possible to park a train in the middle of the platform. I wonder if there's any timetable where you get to do that, because that'd be hilarious.
This is Wealdstone Junction. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for London Overground. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
Hello there, Troposphere. I'm not doing too badly. It's about 10:40 AM here in Melbourne. It's a 30 zone here, so I'll continue the acceleration. I'll be working again today, but not for another 4 hours or so.
The next station is Kensal Green. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Through the Kensal Green tunnel, and the platform is pretty much the end of the tunnel here. We're sitting at 30. So that basically means we don't need to start our braking until about halfway down the platform.
This is Kensal Green. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle.
Yeah, it's a pretty good looking game, isn't it?
Please stand clear of the doors.
Okay, the next one is Queen's Park. Yeah, I had Train Simulator 2, the old Microsoft Train Simulator from about 1998, I think it was. 98, 99, somewhere around that period. Just around the turn of the century. Had steam trains on that one. We don't have steam trains on this sim yet. Maybe we will one day. Somebody has to make an add-on for it. At the moment it's just electrics and diesels. And we've got a 15 zone coming up. Yeah, I was hoping it would look like the weather in the UK right now. I did look at the weather in London. Showers and stuff. There's the 15. Need to be slow. We'll notice that there's a train in the stabling yard right now.
The next station is Queen's Park. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for London Overground.
This is the last of the above ground stations, and very soon we'll go underneath.
This is Queen's Park. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for London Overground. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
We're exactly 1 minute late. We should be able to catch it up underground. Underground, where the rails are dry and we don't have to worry about all this wheel slipping thing. The first section up to Kilburn Park might be a little bit moist still. It all runs downhill. Yes, actually here in Melbourne it hasn't been too bad for the last couple of days. Monday was awful, about 30 or so Celsius. But today is like 19. It's pretty good. Lots of sun though.
The next station is Kilburn Park.
We should be at 35. We've kind of increased to about 36 or 7. So I'll just get a little bit of braking in. There we go. Like how the train is still a little bit, you know, wet. Wonder when that'll dry off slowly over the evaporation of the water here.
This is Kilburn Park. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
Pick the back of the train up, and off we go. Ah, it's nice to be in the underground portion of the underground again. No need to worry about rain. And with any luck we can pick up about 5 seconds for each stop.
station is Maida Vale.
No, I've never been on the real tube, not your London one. The only tubes I've been on are the Australian variants, which aren't really actual subways, but we do have some sections of the line that are underground. Both here in Melbourne and Sydney.
This is Maida Vale. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and
It looks
Castle.
similar to this, except our trains are of course the same as our overground trains. So overhead pantograph wires, underground.
Please stand clear of the doors.
And somewhat larger cabins. Hi there, Infinite Flight. Hope you're well. Still trying to get some of those seconds back. We're about half a minute late. Then again, this is the last full-length train on this line for the night, so probably better to be late than early. That way, all the people returning home from late night work or whatever they do at 11 PM at night.
Is Warwick Avenue. Exit here for Little Venice.
Won't miss our train. Cool. Good to see a good old finished product.
This is Warwick Avenue. Exit here for Little Venice. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
Just trying to grasp back as many seconds as we can at each stop. Northern Line? Sounds fun. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to London one day. I barely visited London one time when I was on my way to Denmark. Stopped long enough to go from Terminal... Which terminal was it? Terminal 4 to Terminal 3. I think it was that way around. At Heathrow. So the only bit of London I've seen was Heathrow Airport. Never been before or since. Hello Darren, hope you're well. That's a red light.
Between the train and the platform. Change here for the Circle, District and Hammersmith and City lines and National Rail services. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
I knew that had changed straight away. That's just holding us in so we don't go early. 20 zone. Got a couple of heavy turns ahead of us. There's the first one. .35 zone. Back carriage cleared that turn. Edgware Road's a short platform, so I now have a 30 zone.
This is Edgware Road. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle.
Close it up.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Ah. Let's go. Off we go. Marylebone. Or it's the big tile mosaic, I would say. Grand Central. .35 straight ahead. There'll be a slight turn as we come into the platform.
This is Marylebone. Change here for National Rail Services. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle.
Getting there.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Full power to Baker Street. Lost a couple of seconds with the door shenanigans at Edgware Road.
Here for the Circle, Hammersmith and City, Jubilee and Metropolitan lines. Exit here for Madam Tussauds. This is Baker Street. Change here for the Circle, Hammersmith
That wasn't
and
a bad stop.
Jubilee and Metropolitan lines. Exit here for Madam Tussauds. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
Keeping everything nice and tight. .30 zone coming up. There it is. Anyone on Twitch at the moment, or did I scare you guys all off saying that this was Flight Sim? Twitch tags didn't update when I did them.
This is Regent's Park. Exit here for local buses to ZSL, London Zoo. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
Within about 10 seconds of being on time now. Happy with that. It's a 30 zone. 25 coming up just before I hit Oxford Circus.
The next station is Oxford Circus. Change here for Central and Victoria Line.
25. And 20 coming up for the other direction turn. There's 20 now. Into the platform at 20. And a slow break.
This is Oxford Circus. Change here for Central
We're on
and
time.
Victoria Line. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle.
No need to rush anymore.
Please stand clear of the doors.
We can take it a little bit relaxed. Not that relaxed though. It's better to just speed through the tunnels as fast as you can go, so you can relax at the stations with the doors open. Or take your time braking. But I told you that we'd eventually catch up that 2 minutes that we lost above ground, and now we're back on time. Doesn't help that we're speeding right now. We need to be at 30 in now. Good old Christmas shopping. It's that time of year. I got ready for Christmas last year and then nothing happened because we're all in lockdown again. So this year I was like, yeah, I'm not going to bother because we're probably going to be in lockdown again. But probably not going to be. Can't go anywhere outside our state, but it's okay.
Change here to the Piccadilly line.
I could visit New South Wales, just not South Australia or any other state.
This is Piccadilly Circus. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Oh, I can be here for a full
Change here for the Piccadilly
40
line.
seconds.
This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle.
Yeah, that light's red. So that light won't actually clear until our due time. Basically, they want to make sure that everybody gets on the last train if they want to get onto it, because we're the last train to go to Elephant Castle tonight. Everything else stops at Waterloo and then goes up into the yards at London Road.
Please stand clear of the doors.
So So I do believe that there is at least one more train behind us that's going to go all the way up to Waterloo. But after Waterloo, us, we are the last train.
Exit here for Trafalgar Square, National Gallery and National Portrait Gallery.
Charing Cross.
This is Charing Cross. Change here for the Northern Line and National Rail.
I can see the next station up ahead.
Exit here for Trafalgar Square, National Gallery and National Portrait Gallery. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
On time.
The next station is Enhancement. Change here for the Circle, District and Northern Line.
Cool. Gotta like the old familiar work stop. It's a good looking station, I must say. Just put the head of my train into the space it's meant to be in. There.
This is Embankment. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for the Circle, District and Northern Line. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
Nah, next one's Waterloo. That's also the last train for any of the trains heading up to the yards. Waterloo. Next time I do the train, I might actually do that train that stops at Waterloo, then heads up into the London Road Yard.
The next station is Waterloo.
Disappears up a 5 mile an hour zone.
Change here for the Jubilee, Northern and Waterloo and City lines and National Rail services.
Dead. Here's Waterloo. Big curvy station.
This is Waterloo. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform. Change here for the Jubilee, Northern and Waterloo and City lines and National Rail services. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle. Please stand clear of the doors.
And we can go. Right on time. Green light. Notice that the train has dried up now that we've been underground for a while. All that water that was sitting on the windscreen has either dripped away or evaporated off.
The next station is Lambeth North. Exit here for the Imperial War Museum. This is Lambeth North. Exit here for the Imperial
20 seconds.
War Museum. This is a Bakerloo line train to Elephant and Castle.
Yeah, pretty much sitting on the perfectly on time area of the timetable.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Probably could have waited 5 seconds for that one. Just cleared that red. And Elephant Castle is the next one up. .30 zone. .25. We'll just coast down the hill. I do believe we cross into the opposite direction of the tunnels. So we go into the out platform.
The next station is Elephant and Castle, where this train terminates. Change here for the Northern Line and National Rail Services.
Speaking of the Northern Line, and here we go, we have to be at 10 to cross these rails. So we're going into that one on the right. Oh no, we're going straight ahead. I thought we were going over there. Never mind. They haven't modelled the entire underground, but they have modelled the entire Bakerloo line. Don't know what these dudes are doing waiting here.
This is Elephant and Castle, where this train terminates. Change here for the Northern Line and National Rail Services. All change, please.
Get out the train! Get out! Do you live here now, do you? Don't know why the game has decided that she wants to live in the train. But there you go.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Suggesting to what? Unlock it again.
Please stand clear of the doors.
Cool. So we want to contact the signaller. We'll go ahead. Has she left finally? Yes, she has, finally. Good. It's not directly across, so we can actually proceed into the siding. 10 mile an hour. We're now past Elephant Castle. Into a part of the track that people normally don't visit. Basically, this train will become one of the very first trains to leave in the morning. There's 2 sidings down in this part of the world. One on the other side over there, to our right. Turns a free roam to end. There's the end of the tracks. Cool. In the real world, there'd be a little marker somewhere along the line. It's not modelled in the game, but obviously we've finished the scenario, so we'll now shut the train down. Tail lights are in. We can get rid of the gauge lights. Probably leave that on for the moment. We'll go to our torch. Not in services up there. All those are off. And the only way to get out of the train, because as you can see, the wall of the tunnel is a couple of inches away from the doors. So we can't get out there. And if you go out the front of the train, that was the front just before, yeah, basically we end up dead-end tunnel. So we have to walk through the train and then eventually walk back to Elephant Castle Station that we were just at. And go upstairs and take the bus home or whatever. Or however the train driver here gets home. Also, you get to walk through the tunnel and confront any homeless bums who've decided to spend the night on the train. And this train will be moving out of here in about 5 hours' time, give or take. Cool, we had no homeless randomers on the train, so just going to double check that this cab is also secure. Keys out. That light is set to on, but off here. The stabling light is on. We'll leave it on. That's cool. Chuck the brake on. That's the handbrake. And now we will depart the train. See, no space in there to be able to walk down there, so we don't. There's the other track. Cool. Well, Train Sim World doesn't like us walking through the tunnels, but there you go. I'm kind of stuck at the moment. Anyhow, that is the end of the scenario. Hope you enjoyed it. I've been Musical Aviator. That's the Elephant Castle, Bakerloo line. I think the next stream will be Fly and See Santa on Sunday morning, my time. Quite early in the morning, so... Cool. Anyway, I'll leave you with my thumbnail, which is pretty much us walking back up that track towards the station. I've been Musical Aviator. Bye for now.